I want to say to everyone, this has just been such an amazing event, and again, more than I ever could have dreamed of. And again, I've gotten a lot of credit for it, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes. And as far as if you want to think of me as an innovator, there are people that have had this idea before me, and she's right over there, so Sharon Gordon. So thank you for all your help. Also, other people that have beaten me to the punch in terms of social media, so Ruth Cartwright and Sharon, and other people. Really I told Ruth and Sharon, among others, Linda, Joe, and Alyssa, that social media I really see as a powerful tool. And some people, when I came and started talking about this, they saw it as a gimmick. And it may be a gimmick, but it's a gimmick that's very, very powerful. We have to learn how to harness it. And I think kind of coalescing everything down into this kind of physical support group is really key. Because again, I asked you day number 1, who had ever met a person with AIH? I think I saw about 3 or 4 hands. So really impactful. And I really hope that you got something out of this conference. I know I did, and I really have used this primarily as really a large focus group. And I think we have the momentum now with this organization, as we'll be following up here in the next few months, that we can kind of keep moving. And again, the question is, where do we go? How do we impact this disease? And like Dr. V said, how do we cure this disease? You know all these. We've hit these over and over and over again. But again, this is complex. It's hard to diagnose. You have to advocate for yourself. You have to talk to your doctor. You have to know he has to know what you expect, or he or she. We need to find new biomarkers. We need to know about disease progression and more advanced therapies, and maybe even individualized therapy. And I think this organization is really going to pave the pathway to that. So Facebook, I run the Autoimmune Hepatitis Research Network. Again, it's a more scientific-based approach. Trust me, I'm not as good as Ruth or Sharon. I spill out science. I kind of take the most recent paper. I tell it how it applies to you. I do this every 1 to 2 weeks or so and engage in feedback, and it's really become more of a full-time job, much to Dr. Chalasani's dismay. It's weird to have your boss walk into your office and you're on Facebook. Twitter also is a great really a great impactful for visibility, and I'll tell you why. So I've been tweeting this entire conference, and again, despite having Digestive Disease Week, which is a huge conference for the GI and some liver, they're retweeting our tweets about the Autoimmune Hepatitis Association meeting. So this is great. Question about money then, I say this for last. So how do we fund this? So we have the division here of GI and liver with Dr. Charlie's help to actually put this on. The question is, where will this come in the future? I don't think that we have to be defined right here to Indiana University. I think we can travel, but again, to do that, we have to have funding. So it's about donation, it's about getting family involvement, and any other charitable organizations or anything that you want to do in terms of fundraising. So we have an account here at Indiana University, that's the link to it. However, I kind of plan that we will develop this into a non-profit organization, so we'll actually be able to have an account. And again, I've identified, and if you're interested in contributing to this organization as far as leadership, activities, charity, you contact me through Twitter or Facebook. And I think this will continue to grow, and that's really the plan for the next few years, okay? So again, I started with a slide yesterday, and again, we wanted it to look like this. And again, with research and growth, we're going to minimize the art of medicine and also minimize luck with treatment of AIH. So again, Sharon, thank you so much. Our patient panel, JC, Linda, Lisa, Ruth, and Alyssa, you guys were just phenomenal. We can give them a round of applause. And this welcome table was Sharon's idea, and I know many of you worked it, and I think it was just a really nice touch to welcome you to Indianapolis. So thank you guys that sat there. It was a long list, and it was really appreciated. And then the support staff, your loved one, your husband, your wife, your kids. Thanks for coming and showing support. Hopefully Dr. Montero maybe provided you with some piece of support that you can take back with you and really make you fulfill that role even more. Really the unsung heroes today, Josh Love and Megan Comaford. Megan's on her phone, probably tweeting in the back. Like, these guys were in the trenches in developing this, and I ran them pretty ragged, but I think we'll sleep well after this weekend, I'm sure. And again, thank you also to the research coordinators. Nina's here today. I think Gina may be left, or no, there's Gina, hi. And the rest of the folks out there at the Grace table, thank you so much. We couldn't have done it without you. Ultimately, though, I want to use that as a parlay to the Grace study. If you have not given blood or saliva, we are set up to do so. We'll be open for after the conference. Please, please, please. If you want to make an impact in this disease, this is the first step. And again, the only way we're actually going to examine the things that contribute to it is really looking at under a microscope. So genetics and environmental risk factors is really the way to start. So thank you. And then the presenters, much like Dr. Chalasani, I think they just presented such a wealth of information. And again, these topics will be provided online to you that follow us on the research network. Really, I think they went above and beyond what I could have ever asked them to do. And Terry, you're here, so thank you. I mean, these pieces are just amazing. And if you've contributed to our online surveys, this is kind of a neat, novel, quick way to gather quick information. It's really hypothesis generating, but I think thank you so much if you've contributed to those. We've actually produced a lot of data from it and actually have presented at national meetings, and we will share all these findings with you as we actually are able to. And then finally, thank you for the Grace contributors and Dr. Chalasani and our division. Thank you so much. We couldn't have done it without you. Well, thank you. Travel safely, but before you walk out the door, will everybody please come to the stage? Joe is going to take our picture.